Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on this morning talk. First off, guys, I just wanted to thank all of you. I should say guys and gals. Actually, believe it or not, I've actually got a slight bit more female followers on my platforms than I do male followers. But hope that's not offending anybody. I always just say guys. It's just a term for everybody. So anyways, I just wanted to thank all of you. Exit the Matrix is just blowing up on Facebook, on YouTube. I started the channel a little over a year ago, and we're already up to 3,500 or almost 3,500 subscribers, and so we're doing pretty well. And this is all mostly off just morning talks and a few videos I've done with some other content creators. And so I really want to thank you guys by building Exit the Matrix and taking it to the next level. And to do that, I want to start doing a weekly podcast, and I want it mostly to be based on NDEs and OBEs. However, I'll probably bring on some, different spiritual teachers and, and scholars and researchers and just, some different people just to add to the overall collective, learning and experience. So right now, I am having a bit of trouble, folks, finding some people to interview for the NDE or OBE experience. That's how I really want to kick it off. So if any of you have had a true out-of-body experience, maybe you did, plant medicine, we'll just leave it at that because I don't know what words I could say along that line. Plant medicine, out-of-body, maybe shamanic, religious out of body, or the actual NDE. And as far as the NDEs go, I'd like to get a little deeper on that. So maybe not just somebody that popped out of their body and popped back in, maybe while they were having a surgery done or something, but somebody that actually, flatlined, left their body, had some experiences, and then came back to their body. And the reason for this, folks, is because, look, what is the biggest question that nearly every human being has ever had since they've incarnated on Earth? And that is, why am I here? What is this? What is this place? What's the point, right? I mean, I know that's a few questions, but they're all basically tied together into the why. The why, right? I mean, why? Why are we here? Why'd I come here? And sometimes you can tie in what is after this. So I find that people that have these out-of-body experiences get a glimpse past the veil. And when they can bring back that information, it brings us back a lot of enlightenment. Because look, folks, the biggest thing that holds human beings back is fear. That's why governments constantly put us under fear matrix. Religions put you under fear matrix. Banks keep you under a fear matrix through debt, slavery, right? So, these are tools that they know put us in the fear matrix, and they can limit humanity. They can manipulate humanity, and they can control humanity through putting us in a fear matrix. And I think essentially what's going on right now with the drones and the fires and the disasters and I think that they're purposely using MK Ultra tactics on us, that they're purposely trying to mess with our psyches and put us in a fear-based trauma state, even deeper than just your basic fear mechanism. They're actually taken us to the next level. Because look, they've been using these MK Ultra tactics on their own for a long time, on their own children and such. A lot of these children that now are adults that say they were put under MK Ultra and different offshoots of that, Monarch Butterfly, Sex Kitten, all kinds of different types of that. A lot of them say that their daddies were in intelligence agencies and stuff. I mean, or they were in Hollywood or whatever. I mean, look, folks, Hollywood is, look it up, the CAA. It's directly tied with the CIA. Okay, it's an intelligence agency. It's a propaganda machine. So they do that to their own kids, folks. Most of your celebrities you see out there, look at who their parents were. A lot of times their parents were in intelligence and in upper levels of the military and such. So, look, this has been going on for a long time. And look, the churches do the same thing, okay? Especially cults. Cults know how to use MK Ultra to a fine degree, to a high level. So, fear. That's what holds us back. Well, one of the major fears most people have is what happens after this, right? After you pass away. I don't even know what words I can use with this unalive and all this stupid shit. My God, YouTube has become all these freaking social media sites have become a fucking joke, dude. I mean, it's like 1984, like, you can't use this word, you can't use that word, that might make somebody do something and harm themselves. Shut the fuck up, man. My God, dude. No, what's making people harm themselves is your idiotic, extremist, progressive fucking policies that make people stupid and weak. That's what harms people. Okay? So shove it. Thank God, maybe Facebook is opening the curtains back up here. We'll see if old Mark Z will hold to his word. But it sure would be nice if YouTube and these other ones would get back on board with, free speech and such. But this whole censoring words and stuff, it's absolutely ridiculous, folks. I mean, you can't even have a conversation on YouTube or do a video without having to self-censor your words, and it's just stupid shit. Like get this, folks, and this was on, maybe this will change on Facebook, but I actually have done a few posts on NDEs on Facebook, and they made me take the post down because they said it would make people harm themselves. Like, what? NDEs harm it? What? It's an experience. What the hell are they talking about? I guess they think like, oh, if somebody's so stupid, they'll just check out, right? Okay, I get that. But if you're that weak, I mean, you're going to check out no matter what, right? Anyways, I'm sorry to go off on a tangent there. I get so tired of this BS, man. I mean, we can't even just talk. And look, folks, please forgive me. I don't have the cleanest mouth. I curse occasionally. I try not to. But when I do it, it's usually when I get pretty worked up, right? And the stupidity, the censorship, of these companies really aggravates and pisses me off. And, well, maybe they want to do that to some people, right? Because pissing people off puts them in a matrix, too, that, you can manipulate their people's emotions. And so I should probably be a little more zenful, so I apologize. We'll move on. But anyways... So, but if you take away the fear of what comes after this, if you take away the fear of your existence being blotted out, right? Then people can live more free lives and they can produce more and be more inventive and imaginative and productive. And they're not as afraid of their circumstances they're in. And once people learn how to hack the matrix, which I've been trying to teach you guys, then now you got a tool that you can start actually changing your life and your circumstances. But that can only be done if you can set fear aside. Because see, to interact, to interface with the Matrix, and to truly manifest, you have to put aside fear, because it will hold back your ability, because the Matrix sniffs out your fear. It's designed that way. It's energy. It's conscious energy, just like we are. Okay? You have to treat the Matrix, the quantum field, as a living conscious entity, folks, because it is. It's all energy. It's all source energy. Everything in this realm is created from source energy, consciousness, and all energy is consciousness. Look, folks, it all goes hand in hand. Okay, there's no separating it like science would try to do. Academia would try to separate consciousness and energy. It's all one. Okay, the double slit experiment has proven that. And as we delve further into quantum physics, it's being proven over and over again. But the funny thing is that we were already taught all this through the Hermetic teachings, through a lot of the teachings, through the Vedic texts. If you read the Gnostic, the Nag Hammadi, a lot of these teachings have already been told to us. Did you guys know that the Matrix is in the cuneiform? Yeah, it's in the freaking cuneiform, folks. I kid you not. It's Enki in the Enki in the World Order. Wow, that's crazy, right? Yeah, there's a cuneiform tablet that's like, what was it? 2500 BC? Maybe 3000 BC? Called Enki in the World Order. And it literally talks about this world being a matrix in the tablet. Nobody else has picked up on this tablet. I'd like to delve a little deeper into it and pass that on to you guys. In fact, I would tell you, go to the Oxford ETCL archive, look up Enki in the World Order, and read it yourself. So anyways, folks, sorry, I get on a lot of tangents, folks. I'm sorry. I'm like a squirrel. I go down this road, I go down that road, and I got to get back on the main road. So anyways, if I really would like to get this year started out right, and I would like to get this information out to more people, because I think it's so important. Once you understand that you're an immortal spirit, that you are a son, a daughter, a fractal of God, of Source, and that you have dominion over this realm, over the quantum field. In fact, you have dominion over the cosmos, over creation, because you are a co-creator with Source. And this is a classroom, a game to help teach you lessons, to sharpen you as, almost like a sword goes through the process, right? Through the water and the fire. Gets hammered. Goes through. If you think, have you ever seen a blacksmith actually build a sword from raw iron and wood to the point where it's all put together and completed? That metal went through hell, dude, essentially, to be designed into a sword. And once it's finished, it's magnificent. Well, depending on the blacksmith, that is, but you get my point, folks. Look, that's why we're here. It's a classroom. It's a game, okay? And I think part of the game is, for one, becoming self-aware in the game and realizing, wow, once you realize, hey, holy crap, this is some kind of constructed reality. And then two, you realize, wait a second, I'm not my body. The body is just a vessel. It's a machine. Then you realize, wait, I'm a spirit. I actually can leave my body and still be alive, a consciousness alive, separate from the body. Then you realize you're immortal. And then you start actually figuring out what all these ancient texts and everything have been telling us for thousands of years. And you realize that, look, this was all a design game, a classroom, a sandbox that we helped create. You want to know the secret, folks, about who the Elohim are? And yes, folks, the Elohim is not Yahweh, okay? Now, Yahweh was one of the Elohim, okay? One of the Watchers, one of the Anunnaki. Oh, I know that just, that'll just infuriate people. But yes, Yahweh is not the creator of all. Yahweh was just the character that set himself up as the God of this realm. His name is Enlil in the Sumerian, okay? Enlil, the God of the air, the commander of earth, okay? Yahweh, one of the Elohim. It even says, and go read Genesis, the council of, what is it called? The council of elders, the council of the gods, depending on your translation and interpretation. It even says that in Genesis. Look, folks, we've all been tricked. Genesis is about the Anuna pantheon, folks. It's all there. It's just one tribe that chose Yahweh as their champion God, as often happened in Mesopotamia. Oftentimes, you'd have tribes or city-states would give allegiance to one of the Anuna. They would make them their chief god. And then, of course, they would be like, our God's the greatest God. Yours is a blasphemy. Yours is a false God. Yours is a weak God. I mean, that's what the Old Testament's all about, folks. It's a pissing contest between the Anuna. And Yahweh is not the creator of all. Now, he's part of the creator of all, just as we are. But I think the secret is, folks, is that we are all the Elohim, okay? I think the archangels, the ones in the Anuna, the council, the ones, the Anunnaki, the royal blood, right? That they were probably the governors of this realm. That's why they're called the Watchers in the book of Enoch. They were the ones from the realm we come from that were chosen to come set up the game. The game masters, folks. Think about it. If any of you have ever played Dungeons and Dragons or any of those old games, I wasn't into Dungeons and Dragons. I read some Dragonlance back in the days, but there were some board games that were similar. You had one player play the game master and would set up the board. I can't remember this one awesome game I had. It was like that. Heroes Quest. Yeah, Heroes Quest. If any of you remember that game, oh my God. I hand-painted all the figures in that for that game, all the board pieces, everything. I loved that game. The problem was you could never get enough people to come play it with you, but Heroes Quest, that game was freaking awesome. So it was kind of like an easier version of Dungeons and Dragons, but anyways, the Elohim were the game masters. And some of them decided, hey, I want to be a god in this realm. And and that was the fall, right? They were only meant to come here and set up the game and make sure the game was that the rules were being followed, that protecting it maybe from outside forces or whatever. And then some of them decided, I want to be a god. And they set themselves up. And guess which one of those was? Yahweh, okay? He never was a good guy per se. You can read that in the Genesis. Just read the Old Testament, folks. I mean, come on. So, look, I try to simplify this stuff as easy as I can for you guys, okay? I'm not Billy Carson out here making fantastical claims about Mars and all this other stuff. I don't know. Maybe some of that's right. I think when he says that, it talks about Mars and all that in the cuneiform, I have to admit, I haven't really come across that. Now, the Book of Enki talks about that, but that was Zecharia Sitchin's final culmination of all his work. He was the Book of Enki, the Lost Book of Enki, and that was basically his interpretation of how everything connected. And it was like a fiction, but part nonfiction, because some of it was from the cuneiform and the Bible and Mahabharata and Egyptian and other sources. And and he did a great job of trying to tell a story. But it's not technically, a lot of that's technically not in the cuneiform. Okay? Spaceships and going to Mars and, mining on Mars and all. Now, look, Marduk is named after Mars. Okay? He was the chief god. Mars was his planet he was connected to. A lot of the Inuna would claim one of the planets as their own, to be like their standard over heaven, in the sky, right, at night. And then you got Wes Huff, those two with that whole battle and drama is quite captivating to watch. Then you got Wes Huff. He's trying to be like, academia tries to be like the gatekeepers to knowledge. Like, yeah, if you're not, following white papers and all this, it's nonsense. It has to be white papered and this and that. And our archaeologists and scientists are the ones to have theories and to come up with their own interpretations. And they're always wrong, which is funny, right? Hunter-gatherers, right? Göbekli Tepe's blown their stupid model out of the water already, and the other one that has been blown out of the water by quantum physics, but they won't admit to it, is evolution theory, Darwin style. But anyways, well, Wes is trying to be the gatekeeper for anybody researching the Bible or ancient texts. He thinks because he's backed by Christian organizations, money, right, to try to destroy Billy and to try to shut up anybody talking about like stuff I talk about. Because a lot of Christians, they're afraid to question any of that stuff. So they want somebody like Wes Huff just saying, oh, look, I tricked, I proved Billy was, wrong on the Sinai Bible, and stuff like that. Well, I've said, well, who gives a shit, dude? The Sinai Bible is like 400 AD. I'm talking about tablets here that are freaking up to 4000 BC, folks. Who gives a shit? Right? What this Bible or that Bible said? What text was in it? What text wasn't? What was cross-referenced? Who gives a shit, dude? I'm looking at the full story, the total, looking at the whole game board, from above. Cross-connecting the Bible with the cuneiform, with the Vedic, with, all the other ancient texts and philosophies and teachings and such, and cross referencing all that to OBEs and NDEs. That's where I come from, folks, but I try to simplify it for everybody. Okay, I want the layman not to have to like Wes would be like, you can't debate anything biblical unless you're like me and you dig into every little nook and cranny of every little ancient text ever written. No, look, go read the cuneiform, read multiple sources, and come up with your own theory, okay? You'll start to paint your own picture. And who gives a shit what anybody else says? You may be right and you may be wrong, but you're more than likely partially right, okay? I've never said I know everything, folks. All I ever tell you guys is what my own conclusions and theories I've come to, okay? But I try to deliver it in a simplified manner, so that any person can just listen to what I say, and you're going to tell if it resonates with you, if it resonates with your heart, your mind. You can tell when I'm hammering things home, right? Now, if you start getting a questioning feeling and it just don't seem right what I'm telling you, then I may be off the mark. Your intuition is probably right. And that's fine. I don't need to know everything. I don't need to be like Billy and Wes having a pissing contest, seeing who's the smarter and who's right and who's wrong and who's more technical or whatever. I don't give a crap, dude. Okay? I actually appreciate both those guys' work. I will say that. Because I didn't know anything about this Wes guy till I seen the debacle between him and Billy. But I have followed Billy for years, and Billy has a lot of great insights and teachings. Look, he's not perfect. And I think the problem with Billy is he wants to act like he knows it all, but he doesn't. Okay? And then so this Wes guy comes in and proves him wrong on a few things. Fine. That doesn't mean all of Billy's work's wrong. But, I've been following some of Wes's stuff now because I'm trying to get a feel for this guy. And the fuck is this? I'm sorry, folks. I just got up to work here and I don't know what's going on with some of these vehicles. Like, some idiots park these things like all crazy. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Sorry about another F-bomb for the day. Oh no, I'm really doing bad, folks. Anyways, but a lot of Wes's work, at least into the biblical text and all that's fantastic, man. I mean, look, you got to have some good sources to learn from, right? And if you want to go, hear about the technicalities of ancient religious texts and all that, then Wes is doing some fantastic work, okay? Is he right on everything? Absolutely not. He wouldn't even answer Billy when he was asking about the Old Testament God. See, he doesn't want to talk about philosophy and about, different theories on this guy or that guy and on why was, the Old Testament God this way, why was there certain hypocritical things and all. He don't want to talk about any of that. He just wants to, be technical on trying to prove that his gospels are verified, even though none of them, he even admits, most of them are, the original gospels are between 100 and 200 AD. So, if it's not original source, it's kind of hard to prove it 100% right. Now, I've always told you guys, Yeshua was a real person, okay? Now, what they did to him and made a religion out of him was wrong, in my opinion. And, if you look at just his teachings and compared to Paul's teachings and his disciples' teachings, you can tell. You can tell, okay, folks? That there was a disconnect there. And there was probably the hand of Rome involved in that, right? We know that, Constantine, right? I mean, he's the one who literally had the Bible compiled at the Council of Nicaea. So, anyways, folks, just to sum it up real quick, look, the fear matrix is what holds humanity back. And I'm going to be launching these NDEs and OBEs here. And if any of you guys can help me with that, or if any of you had them and you'd like to come do a Zoom call with me, I'm going to be just doing simple podcast Zoom call. It's not going to be fancy production and everything. Maybe some point in the future, we get Exit the Matrix up to 100,000 subscribers, then, by then I won't have to work this crappy job, and I'll be able to put out really high quality content, probably get some help, from people, because I'm not the most technical person, folks, but the messages I have to deliver and stuff, I hope is worth it for you. Okay, I hope that means more to you than, me singing and dancing and trying to entertain you. I hope that what I talk about is entertaining enough and it leads you down some rabbit holes. So, but don't be afraid, fear not, folks. You are an immortal spirit, and now I feel 100% in my body, mind, and spirit that this is truth. Okay, there is no hell. You're not gonna burn in eternity, and that you're here to learn. Okay, so, and play the game of life, right? So take heart. And if I mentioned earlier about how you can interface the matrix, the quantum field, as I like to call it, go find that video. It's been one of my more popular videos. If you pull up popular videos, that tab, I think it's like around 8th or 9th place or something. And watch that. I go into simple details for any layman on how you can interface with the quantum field. And I've been seeing some massive things happen with that. So in my own life. So a lot of it with what I've been, dealing with Facebook and how things have changed drastically since I started working with the quantum field. Okay, working, folks. I'm not demanding it. I'm not begging it. I'm working with it. It's my friend. It's consciousness, okay? Anyways, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.